is about 8:58 p.m. Central Time, my time. Draft has been concluded for a few hours now. I'm in my daughter's room because my wife's on her phone. iPad is broken, and the kids are watching TV downstairs. Wife's watching TV in the bedroom. So, my oldest daughter's room, I'm able to see the comments on her TV, pulling it up. So I'm gonna wait about 10 minutes. Let some people jump in here, and we can discuss the draft, what grade we give it, the picks that we like, the picks that we did not like, and what we need to do moving forward this off season to make this team 100% complete, where we have zero weaknesses. Zero. I was hoping we could do that in the draft, but we still left at least two positions to be desired. Uh, in round five was the soonest round to take an offensive tackle. Asim Richards out of North Carolina. And then in the round six, we get Deuce Vaughn. I like the running back. I like the pick. Guys, 5'5", a buck 79. You Boston Scott type back. So him, assuming he'll make the roster, even though he's a 6-round pick, assuming he'll beat out Rojo. Um, Him and Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, your speed back. He's your jitterbug back. Doesn't give us a big physical back or a good pass pro back like Zeke or Roshan Johnson would have been, who Chicago picked up. Chicago is a dark horse. Dark horse. Uh, Underdog that a lot of people aren't going to give respect to, and they could make some waves this season. Possibly take the North and host a playoff game. Justin Fields breaking the single season quarterback rushing record last year. Now he's got DJ Moore, a number one receiver. Kid's 24, 23 going 24, a monster. And now he's got Chase Claypool as wide receiver number two. In their draft, the first pick, which is perfect for them, was Darnell Wright, offensive tackle out of Tennessee. He's right tackle, but they'll probably move him to left. Or you can say it right, either or, but it strengthens the line and it keeps Justin Fields more protected. And then the fourth round, they get Roshan Johnson, the power back out of Texas, who was Bijan's backup, is still a damn good back. Some college teams carry two running backs of starting caliber in the NFL, and Texas is one of them. Can't believe Atlanta took Bijan early in the first round. They're a rebuilding team. They don't need Bijan Robinson. Atlanta, if they keep him for the first 3 or 4 years and they go run heavy, they're just going to run him into the ground. He'll probably never see a playoff game in his prime. Atlanta should have picked somebody to build upon, not Bijan Robinson. There was plenty of good backs in the draft. Should have got a top receiver for the quarterback going into this year, or an offensive lineman, or a cornerstone like that. Running backs are dime a dozen, and a running back like Bijan needs to go to a team that's one step away from the Super Bowl, one All-Star away from the Super Bowl. Atlanta's far from that. So we got three people in here so far. I'm gonna wait till the 10-minute mark hits, let it kind of fill up. We'll talk about the draft. And I've got the picks of Philly, the Giants, Detroit, Seattle, Minnesota, and Chicago, who right now it seems like a three-team race. Us, Philly, and San Fran. But Detroit and Seattle, especially what they got in the draft, they're going to be something to deal with. Seattle was a playoff team last year. Detroit was one win away from being a playoff team. Minnesota, let go of Adam Thielen, but they add Jordan Addison, which is, you could almost say an upgrade there. And then Chicago doing what they did. Round two, we should have Darnell Washington, not Luke Schoonmaker, who was a late bloomer and just this all season just started going up the polls in the tight end category. But I mean, even if Darnell Washington would have missed the first 6 games because of injury right now, so what? The guy is freakishly just built. I mean, 6'7" tight end, 11-inch hands. His hands are almost 1 foot long. I mean, catch anything in his direction. Can moss anybody just about 6'7". I mean, that's the NBA forward right there. But no, Mike McCarthy, the one pick that they gave him, he wanted to go with Luke Schoonmaker. Okay, the guy will never be our tight end number one. You pick a tight end in a second round, like I said before, tight end in round two better be a baller. Hell, Jason Witten was a third round pick. Dalton Schultz was a fourth round pick. Jake Ferguson's a fourth round pick. Blake Jarwin was a fourth or fifth round pick. You gonna take a tight end in round two? That better be a Mike Mayer type tight end. Luke Schoonmaker, when you had the strongest guard right there for the taking. Give it 3.5 more minutes. Some people jump in. Whoever's watching right now on the chat, grade the draft. Grade it in a simple A, B, C, or F. D and F is the same thing for me. I mean, if it's below C, it's failing. I give the draft a B. What do y'all think? Just in the chat section. A, B, C, or F, which means failing, freaking horrible. Just stay patient with me, guys. At the 10-minute mark. I'll give y'all dessert in a minute when I'm done, okay? Hey, come here. I'm going to give y'all a little because last night y'all didn't even eat what I gave y'all. So go downstairs, watch a movie, and wait. Got 2 kids. A 7-year-old and 5-year-old. So, Philadelphia, they lost some key guys this offseason, but they've replenished very well, and they did a good job replenishing in the draft. They didn't have a second-round pick, but they had the first 2 third-round picks. And even Philly was smart enough to take an offensive lineman in the first 3 rounds. Their third pick overall, Tyler Steen, out of Alabama. I mean, maybe they know something we don't. Maybe, Steven and Jerry, and maybe they know something we don't about offensive line. If Tyron Smith could stay healthy all year, and you had the starting 5 of Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, B.Dash, Martin, and Steele, that'd be a great starting 5. But you know that he can't stay healthy, and it'll be musical chairs. So, being that the top 3 positions of need going into the draft were defensive tackle, left guard, and running back, and we addressed one of them fully and one of them halfway, and then the other really not at all. I mean, Hakeem Richards, I don't see him flexing the left guard and being a starting left guard this season for us. Now, saying that, I would suggest the free agent market now. After the draft, you got Dalton Reisner still out there. He is no Larry Allen, Zach Morton, or Quentin Nelson, but Dalton Reisner is a veteran left guard who is pretty good. He's not bad. He's good. He's better than Connor Williams and Connor McGovern. And This year is Super Bowl. We're not thinking about next year. We're not thinking about next year comes next year. So if we were to go out and sign Dalton Reisner, 1 year deal, plug him in a left guard. After June 1st, bring back Zeke, who this time Zeke will be the Zeke with a chip on his shoulder, wearing number 15 from Ohio State. And that chip will represent the 31 teams that did not give him a phone call while he was on the market. He is living at a Dak's house right now, training, giving everything he's got to his workout regimen. He comes back on a 1 year vet minimum deal. He's made the second most money of any running back in NFL history. So at his age, I know he wants to win, so money should be a problem. He should have no problem signing a 1 year vet minimum deal with incentives. And he's the kind of guy that has no problem not being a running back one, mentoring the rookie, Deuce Vaughn, being a good pass protector, and getting those tough yards when we need. Be that 3-4 yard guy, that 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 running back, and make sure that Prescott doesn't get a broken collarbone like Romo did 2015 when we let DeMarco Murray walk. And Murray was a good pass protecting running back also. So if we were to sign Dalton Reisner and Elliott to 1 year deals, then our team, I don't see any holes in it. I don't see any weaknesses or deficiencies. Our offensive line would be completely stout with depth, having Chuma Aduga as our backup interior lineman, having Matt Let's-Go as our swing tackle. I think Let's-Go is a hell of a lot better than Josh Ball. He was hurt last year. He won't be hurt this year, hopefully. And then on defense, we took a defensive end in round 4. Last year, every defensive player we took in the draft were picked by Dan Quinn. All of them panned out. So the defensive end that we took in round 4, that was his name. We have another Fehoko, Valami Fehoko Jr. out of San Jose State. Adds to our defensive line that now consists of Tank Lawrence, Dante Fowler, Osia Digizua, Neville Gallimore, Jonathan Hankins, Mozzie Smith, our new draft pick, Dorrance Armstrong, now Valemi Fehoko, and Micah Parsons, who is a 70%, 80% defensive lineman now, and Chauncey Golston. Our defensive line may not be as good as Phillies or San Fran's, but it is damn close. Damn close. Especially when you put Micah Parsons on that line at the LOS. Whenever he's on the LOS, our D line is, if Mozzie Smith is who we think he is, can probably be as good as Philly and San Fran's. In a linebacking core. Now we got LVE for the next 2 years. He's starting to go back to rookie form. 3rd round we got the Marvion Overshawn. Long name. Dan Quinn picked him for a reason. Hell, this kid could be the next Bobby Wagner or Luke Kuechly. We don't know. But being that we got Mozzie Smith, a run stuffing defensive tackle, a guy that take on 2 linemen at once, and this middle linebacker to pair up with LVE and Damone Clark, that gives Micah Parsons even that much more versatility. Now, that he don't have to play off ball as much. He can play it. He can go. He's the biggest chess piece on the team. Dan Quinn can do whatever he wants with him on any given down now. First pick of the 6th round, we go Eric Scott Jr. out of Southern Miss, cornerback. Deron Bland, as y'all remember, was a fifth-round pick. Becomes our starting slot corner, playing at a high level as a rookie. This kid, Eric Scott Jr., being that he was the first pick of the sixth round, was only picked like 12 spots after Deron Bland was last year. So don't be surprised if Eric Scott Jr., who's like 6'1", 6'2", you know, the size of corner that they want. Don't be surprised if he's ready to step in for Gilly whenever he's gone after 1 or 2 years. Every guy that we drafted for defense, I believe, will be a difference maker. Mozzie Smith, DeMarvion Overshawn, Viliami Fehoko, and Eric Scott. Nose tackle, edge rusher, linebacker, and corner. All three phases of defense, really. DB, linebacker, nose tackle, and edge guy. Now, Luke Shoemaker, if he can be an extension of the offensive line, because they say he blocks really, really good. If he could be that really, really, really good blocking tight end whenever we play our 2-3 tight end personnel packages, then he could bring some value. But he's got to be able to block like no other for him to be a round 2 pick at tight end if we're going to pass up on Darnell Washington, if you know what I'm saying. Detroit, who was tough last year and dangerous and took us to the brink. You know, they were about to take the lead in the fourth quarter at the goal line if Tank Lawrence doesn't do what Tank does and knock that ball out of the running back's hands and we recover. And then from then on out, we, take over and win the game. In the first round, Detroit gets Jahmyr Gibbs, the 4-2 running back out of Alabama. They have a first round pick, Jack Campbell, top rated blue chip linebacker out of Iowa. And they had 2 seconds. Sam Laporte, tight end, who will replace T.J. Hawkinson, who they traded to Minnesota. And then they got Brian Branch, 12th pick of the second round. Brian Branch, a steal from Alabama. Can play corner or safety. The kid is just super talented. And then in the third round, they go Hendon Hooker. Just, future quarterback. If God, the hell's the quarterback's name? If Jared Goff, for some reason, starts falling off a cliff, they got their man waiting in the wings. And their other third round pick, that's to note, Roderick Martin, defensive tackle, and is no pushover. They're going to be dangerous this year. Seattle, who made the playoffs, had 2 firsts also. They never thought that Denver's first, when they traded Russell Wilson to him, would turn into a 5th overall pick, that they'd be that bad. So they get Devin Witherspoon, the top corner in the draft. Seattle does, to pair with Jamal Adams in that secondary. And then they get Jackson Smith Najigba to pair with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Hell of a trio right there for Geno Smith to throw to. DK Metcalf, who's a grown-ass man. Tyler Lockett, the dangerous deep threat. And then the best receiver in the draft, Jackson Smith Najigba. I mean, picture perfect for them. And then they had 2 seconds. You get Derek Hall, good edge rusher, and then they get Zach Charbonnet, that running back out of UCLA, who will be the start running back. And in the 4th round, They grabbed Bradford, that guard at LSU. I would have liked to have drafted him. He's a guard that could plug and play, most likely. And then another fourth round pick, Cam Young, defensive tackle. Seattle's going to be better this year than they were last year. The Giants. Going to be better last year than they were. I mean, this year than they were last year. The Eagles are not going to roll over them like they did in the playoffs this year. The Giants picked it perfectly. First pick, they get Deontay Banks to pair with that good corner, Adoree Jackson. So Deontay Banks and Adoree Jackson, good pair of safeties right there, real good. And then they get the best center in the draft, John Michael Smith. They took the first overall pick, Evan Neal, last year, offensive tackle. Now they got the best center in the draft. They're building up that offensive line to block for Saquon. And then in the third round, they land Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee, which is a receiver that Danny Dimes desperately needs on top of trading for Darren Waller in the offseason. Those are their, three notable big picks. And then Minnesota, getting Jordan Addison in the first round. Mekhi Blackman, cornerback, and then Jay Ward, cornerback at LSU, and then defensive tackle at LSU. I don't think Minnesota is going to be a playoff threat. They'll be good in the regular season, but it's not just a three-team race with Cowboys, Philly, and San Fran. Seattle and Detroit are going to bring some real heat this season. You can't turn your back on them. I'm glad that we played the NFC South last year. And that we had Detroit on our schedule. No. We played the North. We played the NFC North last year. What am I saying? Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago. Glad we're not playing that division this year. We are playing the NFC West. But the Rams, aren't going to be that tough. I don't see Arizona being that tough. But Seattle and San Fran will give us a run for our money. Better than playing the North, because Minnesota, Detroit, and Chicago, three teams that pose a lot of problems. The West, you only really got two. Man, this next few weeks, if I hear that we bring in Dalton Risner for a cup of coffee, and we're talking to Elliott about coming back for a 1-year deal, I'll be ecstatic, because those two guys will solidify the team. We'll have zero weaknesses. And this is a team that can win 14 to 15 games this year, especially after getting Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore and retaining all the defensive pieces that that were up for grabs. LVE, Donovan Wilson, and company. big time off season. I really wanted to get that guard, but like I said, maybe they know something that we don't, because guard interior lineman was not high on their list. And that tight end from Michigan can block like really good, then all right, I can live with that. But he better be able to take on a defensive end or linebacker and put him on their ass or keep him on their ass. He ain't got to be a big receiver in threat. Ferguson and his shot are more than capable of going out there, catching balls, hurdling guys, making plays, getting to the end zone. We need the second round pick tight end to block and do his job very well at that. And then every now and then, whenever they're expecting him just to block, do a little chip block, and go out for the touchdown pass whenever it's first and it's a goal to go, or third and whatnot, and get to the chains, catch the ball, fall down. He's like a Jason Witten receiver, an old Jason Witten receiver. Jason Witten's first 6 years, he could catch a ball and run. After that, Witten would catch a ball and basically just go down. That was his style. Anybody on the chat want to grade the draft? It's I know it's Saturday, but kind of late. Just wanted to go over the draft and see what y'all think we should do here in the next month or so to solidify the team in the last wave of free agency. I say get Dalton Reisner and bring back Elliott on a 1 year vet minimum deal with incentives. That right there solidifies everything. And then, just for kicks, do what Philly did last year. Bring on Linval Joseph for a 1 year, 1 year deal. Kick the tires on him for depth in that middle. Because if we could stop the run, like top notch, that was our only weakness. And our defense is monstrous. It's better than San Fran's defense, better than Philly's defense. Philly has a good trio of corners like we do, but their safeties are not as good as our safeties, especially after they lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. San Fran has a great front seven, probably the best in the league, but their back end isn't all that. Their corners are not great. Their safeties are average at best. I mean, we got Stephon Diggs, Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis to provide depth. Uh, sixth round corner Eric Scott Jr., who will probably make the team to provide depth. In that safety, we got Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, and J-Ron Curse. Great safety trio, probably one of the top 3 safety trios in the league. We got our linebacking core with depth with this 3rd round pick from Texas, Overshawn, with a Wolf Hunter and Damone Clark, who's going to come back this season strong because last all season he was just rehabbing from injury. They didn't think he'd play, but he came back next season to play. This all season he gets to go to OTAs, training camp, participate, and get into his main body. Now, Mozzie Smith, he's a 1 technique defensive tackle, but has the ability for 3 technique. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of stats, but those kind of guys don't need to. If they don't get a lot of stats, it's not a bad thing. As long as they're clogging up that middle and giving fits for the O-line. And with Hankins next to him, yeah, try running up the middle there. That's going to free up Van Der Esch, Parsons, Clark, Cox, Overshawn. Any linebacker playing is going to free them up to roam sideline to sideline, probably untouched. And our corners can play man, it can play zone. Our safeties, Izzy can play corner or safety. He provides corner depth also and safety depth. I mean, as long as Dak doesn't throw 15, 14 picks during the regular season, which I think he rushed himself back. His thumb never completely healed. Therefore, some of his balls just went haywire. We need to bring back Elliott. Got to complete the running back room. Get that left guard. Strengthen that O-line so we can run the ball at will. And we should have won 14 games last year with a draft and develop team. We were 2 blown leads away from a 14-win season with a draft and develop team. Now we bring on all this new talent this offseason. I wouldn't be surprised if we go 14-3, 15-2, given our schedule, even though it's a lot tougher than last year's schedule. NFC North compared to the NFC West. The West is tougher this year than the North was last year. And the AFC, you got the AFC East opposed to AFC South. AFC East, a lot tougher than AFC South. But it's good to play good teams because iron sharpens iron. And it gets you battle tested and gets you ready for January. We're going to lock down the division. And if we can get that 1 seed, that'll mean a ton. Because if we can get a team in round 2, that's inferior. We get to the championship game minimum this season. Minimum, we get to the championship game. Hopefully, the Super Bowl. If we can get to the Super Bowl, hopefully, we take the trophy. Number 6. It's about time. We are due. We got the team to do it. Let's rock. I'm still new at doing these live shows, so I don't know if I messed up. Okay, there we go. I think I just fixed the chat right there. I haven't seen any chats. Anybody watching, just put a grade on the draft. A, B, C, or D. I gotta get the kids' dessert here in a minute. Just wanted to talk back and forth. Oh yeah, please subscribe, like, and share. This channel is still new and growing. My goal is to get to 1,000 by week 1 this season. I'm at 275, so that means I need 725 more. That is very possible, but I need y'all's help. Cowboy Nation cannot do it without y'all. So please subscribe, press that red subscribe button. It's free, it costs you nothing, but it'll be an investment on your part. Because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to start putting back into the channel, getting a microphone, getting studio equipment, getting a computer just for this, so I can start having graphics and whatnot. And with the tape that I got up here, I can add all the bells and whistles to it. That makes it even better. And I'm gonna start having a call-in line soon here on these live shows whenever we have a bigger crowd. But all right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna just wrap that up. This is my thoughts from the draft. I give it a B. Could have been an A if we'd have got that guard. If we'd have just got Osiris Torrance, opposed to Luke Shoemaker. What's his name? Yeah. Luke Shoemaker. If we'd have got Osiris Torrance in round 2, I'd give it an A++. Because I believe Osiris Torrance could have been a hell of a good left guard for us. But being that we flop on round 2, I give the draft a B. Because you got to give the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt. Last couple of years, we've been questioning the picks. What the hell are they doing? Last year, Tyler Smith in first round. What? We draft Tyler Smith when the best center in the draft was right behind him, and Baltimore took him. Forgot what his name was. And then we were talking about, man, best center in the draft was right there. We take Tyler Smith. Who the hell is that? And Baltimore gets the best center in the draft. He'd probably be Pro Bowler for the next 12 years. And Tyler Smith turns out to be the savior of the offensive line for the season when Tyron goes down right before week 1. And Tyler's been at left guard all season. And all of a sudden he's got to kick out to left tackle in his rookie season in the NFL and doesn't skip a beat. Goes up against the likes of Shaq Barrett. Kevin Thibodeau. Hassan Reddick. All the top pass rushers in the league. The only guy that got the best of them was Aaron Donald when we played the Rams. Aaron Donald lined up on his side twice and got to Dak twice. Those are 2 of the sacks that he let up last season. But that's Aaron Donald going up against a raw rookie like Tyler Smith. But we'll see what happens here in the next few months before training camp. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we bring in a Dalton Reisner or a Dalton Reisner type left guard, and Elliott comes back home on a 1-year cheap deal with a chip on his shoulder wearing number 15 and looking like 2018 Zeke, which I believe he could do, especially whenever you want to prove the whole NFL wrong and make every team wish that they would have called you. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek him in his righteousness, and everything else in your life will fall into place. I'm living testimony of that. How about them Cowboys, guys? Please subscribe, like, and share. Every one of y'all subscribers counts. Every time you press that red button, it means the world to me. So please subscribe, like, and share, guys. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow or Monday. and we'll see if we make these two moves that I'm talking about. If we make these two moves that I'm talking about, we will be ready, set, locked, and loaded, and primed to play anybody in the NFL anytime, anywhere. Like Ali said, I want Joe Frazier. I'll fight him in a phone booth in the middle of Madison Square Garden for free if I wasn't broke. Broke? Did you say you're broke, Ali? How can you be broke? You made more money than all the former heavyweight champions combined. That's my thoughts on the draft. My thoughts on what we need to do after this draft, before training camp. So we will have zero holes, and we will be ready to go and have field the best team that we have fielded in the last 28 years. That's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in, watching. If you watch this after it's loaded, I appreciate you watching too. Please hit that red subscribe button, guys. Press the like button. Also, the more likes the video gets, like Mike Fisher says, it beats the algorithms, and basically get your video viewed more and pushed up higher. So please subscribe, hit the like button, guys, and share this content. I greatly appreciate that. I guarantee you one thing: my channel will become one of the top YouTube syndicate cowboy channels there is. Behind Chat Sports with Tom Downey, behind Law Nation, and shoot, in the next 5 years, I'm gonna catch up to Mark Holmes. I'm only at 275 right now. I'm gonna catch it. That old man. Watch. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, my channel's gonna grow exponentially because I'm gonna start being able to put money back into it and start making it grow and just make it better all the way around. Because right now it's just me and my galaxy. That's it for this episode, guys. I'll catch y'all later. I love each and every one of y'all. God bless y'all. You have a good weekend. Charles charges out. Deuce.